Hi, this is Sean Foster, Auckland-based SME business coach and advisor. A couple of years ago, I developed the ADD model. That development came through really after spending decades of searching for what I call a missing unicorn in business. I'm still looking, by the way, but I know for sure the ADD model is almost there. The model will continue to be iterated as business and environment continues to evolve, as it always does. In terms of my background, I have multiple degrees and qualifications. I've worked up from being a basic technical sales rep in the early days to later managing a division. Then in 2004, I set off on the self-employment road. Nowadays, I expose myself to a lot of learning. This includes attending seminars, trainings, research, have my own coach, absorbing books, and speaking with other successful business owners. And despite my background, I would always struggle to find a basic framework that would help entrepreneurs, GMs, CEOs, and myself in terms of having a simplified viewpoint of business. And I know that others struggle with this as well. Sometimes there seem to be so many moving parts in a business. Then when I came across this image, I thought this is exactly what business is like. Few decisions that you make in business are black and white. Mostly they are in shades of grey, meaning that there are many compromises to make and uncertainties on the outcome and also unintended consequences of some of those decisions you make. Sometimes when I meet older business owners, they appear to have tried everything and have little wriggle room to try anything new because their finances are tight. For about 3/4 of the businesses I meet nowadays, they firmly believe that the bigger efforts into their marketing and lead generation is the magic bullet that they require. From my experience, 3/4 of them are wrong. Usually other areas in the business need fixing before trying to further accelerate the top line growth, which is again why I developed this model. And so this is really why I've been searching for that missing unicorn. The unicorn being that basic business model that will serve as a roadmap on how a business is structured, irrespective of the business type. For sure, every business will have some peculiarities. Some are one-person operations, while others employ hundreds. Some have a handful of clients, while others have thousands. The question is, what is the commonality between the businesses that allows us to develop a common business model? I'm a firm believer of clarity, and in fact, it's one of my taglines. I'm not sure who wrote this, but the quote really resonates with me. With clarity comes conviction. With conviction comes action. With action comes results. So if you think of what a great business looks like, and that great is intended and certainly it's been inspired from the likes of Vern Harnish, we always need to think of the end point. And that end point being the great business has a different meaning to everyone. However, it will always end up being a combination of trying to get the balance right between the income that the business provides, the growth aspirations of the business, and lastly, the personal aspirations of the business owner, and how these are tied up into the business. Here, I like to think very broadly. So income really relates to the overall financial performance of the business. Even a charity only continues to exist if the financials are correct. I meet so many smaller business owners who tell me that money is not important, that's not why they're in business. Well, I'll tell you what, that's bullshit. It is always just a matter of time, either weeks or months, that after a period of some hardship, that they acknowledge they have little grasp of their financials and they get the enjoyment from other areas in their business. Their mindset is similar to what I call the ostrich mentality. They simply try to avoid this area of their business and they know they shouldn't. The area of aspiration relates to the business and the business owner. Of the people that I deal with that have gone into business, one day they plan to exit. Now, this exit could either be in the form of selling the business, leaving their inheritances, going into retirement, or maybe selling and then buying into another business. The problem is that I see that these aspirations are highly valuable, but receive little attention. And here it is worth quoting another quote I quite like from old Tony Robbins. It reminds me of this situation. And he says, people are not lazy, they simply have impotent goals. That is, goals that do not inspire them. So, do you have personal aspirations that inspire you in relation to your own life or your business? The third point is the growth aspirations of the business. The most difficult business to run is one that is static. Over time, the business is overrun by the innovation of others, the changing environment, and by you, the business owner, literally dying from boredom. Certainly, people that I deal with have aspirations for a better business. What is it for you? And this is where we get into the fundamentals of how we achieve the outcome we need, and this is the bones of the ADD model. The first sector in the model is what we call the traction side of the business. How well do prospects know that you even exist, or how you help them? How effective are you in identifying your target markets and then in selling them at a realistic margin? The second portion is the overall design of your business. This has to do with how well you have designed the overall financial structure of your business. Do you have the visibility of your financials ahead of time? How competitively priced are you in the market? Do you have a clear understanding of your break-even and true profitability? I'll tell you, most businesses don't. The third sector is about delivery, and this has much to do with the human factor in the business. After all, even in today's rapidly changing world that's going into automation, the innovation, the design, the execution will ultimately still be in the hands of you and I. When you're viewing your business from a higher level, it'll be in one of these three areas that your business is either making or losing money. That is either in the attraction side, the design side, or the delivery side. Just like the methodology of continual improvement has transformed many businesses, or the analogy of a chain is as strong as the weakest link, where is the weakest link in your business? Which of these three areas? So why is this important? And I'll try and explain it another way because I really want to drum this home. I recently listened to a podcast where the speaker trashed the value of productivity. There are so many productivity hacks out there and also experts out there that are earning a living out of helping you improve your productivity. And you know, the speaker was right. If we were even 50% successful in implementing these productivity hacks that we should have been implementing, then our business and our lives would probably be way ahead of where it is at the moment. The problem is that working is just getting faster and it's changing continually. So if productivity is one of the magic bullets, then where are the results? In my mind, the true solution, the missing link, is having a laser focus on working on what matters most, not on what is most urgent or most attractive, which is where we all tend to be drawn to. The ADD model assists you in getting clarity in what is most important to work on in your business. So this short video that I've created here, it's really about fixing your business. So if you're in the fixing mindset, I have really identified 4 key strategies where your business needs to excel in order to create a great business. If you continue with this and you complete the survey, it's really drilling into these 4 key strategies per main area. So take note of what I'm going to go through here. Now, depending on your business, you may find that some of them do not apply directly to you. That's okay. Just focus on the areas that do have a direct impact on your business. In the attract side of the business, we need to excel in these 4 areas. Number 1, we need to identify who exactly our target audience is and understand their fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. We call this targeting or niching. We need to develop a culture, and that means an ingrained behavior of being customer-centric. So number 2 is customer-centric. We need to open up two-way communication channels so that we are preempting what they need, both the acknowledged and the hidden needs. Number 3, the marketing side is always a biggie, and that includes both your branding and your overall lead generation. The last portion being sales, or your ability to convert the interest into profitable business. After all, without the sale, you have no business. In the design area, these include cash flow management. Well, this is the single biggest killer of businesses around the world. Collapse is often gradual due to a lengthy period of cash flow mismanagement, or occasionally a collapse due to a large creditor liquidating and exposing your business. Both of these scenarios can be fixed and are 100% avoidable. Number 2, the cost structure of your business are simply about some examples such as benchmarking or scrutinizing your cost structure. seldom are they done. Often they are inherent inefficiencies and old structures and old methodologies that once tackled lead to immediate bottom line improvement. Number 3, related to costs, are the selling prices and the margins achieved. I'm shocked at how often businesses are in complete, stubborn denial that nothing can be done about their selling prices. Well, that always changes until they hit some type of a crisis and they're proved wrong by myself or the competitors prove them wrong. Number 4, KPIs or key performance indices and systems is the last capability needed that ties together the design. Most business owners do not analyze their figures or have effective dashboards or forecasting models in place. Most businesses are flying in the dark, and at the same time, they deny that they are. Strategy is everything, yet is nothing unless it is executed. And that's why the delivery sector is so important. So the first one, just like a vehicle, or in your case, your business cannot move forward without fuel. How much energy are you putting into the personal development? If you and your team are not investing in yourself, you are really limiting your opportunities of growth. How are you growing their capability, your capability, your self-awareness, and your overall productivity? Number 2, in a similar vein, what is the culture of your business? Hopefully it's not like or similar to that of the picture. Is your culture hungry for growth? Is it caring? Is it innovative? What type of culture does your business really need for it to thrive? If you're a one-person operation, this applies to you as well. Number 3, what do you have in place in terms of checks and balances? Do you have set stretch KPIs and working systems in place to measure and provide feedback on progress? And number 4, lastly, and this is again a biggie, what do you have in place for true accountability? Is there a culture of accountability, a habit, a discipline that results in the unattainable being attained? Lastly, well, that really wraps up the summary on what the ADD model is. Next, and that includes you, we need to understand how well your current business is in relation to the model. The reason for this is because we need to ensure that the efforts you're putting into your business have an immediate payoff. On a final note, and this is just to put the model into further context, the bigger picture of how you implement these learnings into your business comes down to implementing 3 key steps. Step 1 is obviously adapting and, if necessary, changing the model so that it suits your business 100%. Step 2 is about creating an overall strategy for your business, one that adds value to your customers and you, and also differentiates you in the business. The SOAP or strategy on a page is effective for this process. Step 3 is the final piece in the puzzle and is about the accountability on the execution of the strategy. And all these steps are intertwined and for very good reason. But in order to help us to get clarity on what we should and should not be focusing on your business, I have separated into these key actionable priorities. So now, time's up, and it's time for you to assess your business in relation to the ADD model.